What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Ratcave. It's Ratzi here for DJKit, and in fact, welcome to the first ever Ratzi revisits. So if you're a scratch DJ or a battle DJ, you're pretty spoilt for choice when it comes to equipment in today's day and age. But in today's video, I am revisiting the epic RANE 72 MKII battle mixer with a little bit of clever help from my man Matt Reay. So actually, this video would be called Ratzi and Reay revisits RANE. And as much as I would love to have had Matt with me here in the Ratcave to have said that loads of times and see who sort of messed up saying it first, unfortunately, due to the lockdown and stuff, we've had to be a little bit clever. So the questions today are going to be coming from me in the Ratcave and being answered by Matt Reay in the Matt Cave. I hope you like that one, Matt.
Oh, well, you know what, mate? This is the cave, and this is the map, so yeah, I'm into it.
Right, okay, so let's get straight into it. So I've got the RANE 72 MKII in front of me here, along with the RANE 12 MKII. Let's get into a feature focus of some of the standout bits and bobs on the mixer. So first up, Matt, if you don't mind, mate, I would like you to talk through the effects layering and routing on the 72 MKII, how to combine the effects on the mixer, how to route the effects on the mixer, and also that lovely little customization thing that you can do about flipping the paddles. Over to you, mate.
Combine, route, flip. Let's do it. So on this mixer, we can basically run independent effects per channel and also combine our Serato effects here with our flex effects. And flex effects are the hardware effects which are built in to the 72 MKII. On channel 2 here, I've got a high pass filter, a flanger, and a phaser in Serato. And I can activate them by pressing the effects buttons 1, 2, and 3, and then tapping the effect to move the wet and dry using the bank button. Now if I want to change any of the effects setting of the flex effects, I simply double tap the box and you can see on the echo I've got a high pass filter cutoff, depth and feedback, which I can again move using the bank button. And I mentioned they're independent per side, so you can see on the left side I've got a high pass filter, delay and an LFO filter, so they're working completely independently of each other. Now I can trigger with the paddles, but I can also trigger using the touch effects. So without any effects applied, that's just a high and low pass filter. But if I add in all of my combination of effects, I can trigger those just using the touchscreen. The routing's really simple. You just hit the numbers here at the top, and then you've got access to both channels. And then also, if I want to choose to send the effects to the sampler for both sides, and then if I want to come out of that screen, I'll just tap OK. So you did mention flipping the paddles. Now out the box, the 72 MKII, you'll see has the latching position in upwards, and then non-latching in the downwards position. What I can do is unscrew this top panel here, flip these 180 degrees, so I can have latching and unlatching in reverse order, depending on how I want to do it basically. So not only have I got, deep routing and customization with the effects, I can also further customize it with how I trigger them, either with the touch effects or customized via the paddles. Oh, and by the way, mate, as someone who is bald of head and fan of cap, I'm digging that hat.
Oh, what, this hat right here? Do you know what, mate? I actually got this hat in Vegas. So not a very successful trip for me money-wise, but, at least I got a nice hat out of it, eh? Right, let's get back to the mixer. So on the 72, not the 72 MKII, you had 3 Mag 3 faders. On the 72 MKII here, you've got 3 Mag 4 faders. 1 on the crossfader and 2 as the up faders or the channel faders there. So talk us through a little bit about them, please, Matthew Reay.
I do enjoy being addressed by my full name wherever possible, and long may it continue. So yeah, the Mag 4s. On the RANE 70, we introduced the Mag 4, which is basically the brand new fader, which is 50% lighter, and a few little different redesigns in terms of the carrier and the materials as well. Now with the 72, we've also got the Mag 4 fader, and like the 70, we use it on all three sides. So you'll have two Mag 4s for channel 1 and 2, and then your Mag 4 for the crossfader as well. And that's really important, it's magnetic on all three sides, We have all seen, these turntablists and scratch DJs, they hammer the up faders just as much as they hammer the crossfaders. We've also got a tension adjust at the front of the 72 Mark II as well. And while we're on the subject of brand new RANE mixers, let's remind everyone of your NAMM coverage from this year and how you met DJ Craze, and as far as I'm concerned, mate, kept it together beautifully.
Oh yeah, man, my boy DJ Craze. I don't know if you can tell by that video, but I was absolutely cack in my pants. Like my hand was like this holding the microphone. I got really starstruck. But yeah, great to catch up with Craze. And also, he is a massive fan of the Mag 4s. That, of course, was on the 70 mixer, not on the 72 Mark II. But yeah, you've got three Mag 4s on the 70 mixer too, of course. So mate, let's take a little look at the pad modes now. In particular, talk me through the transport mode on this 72 Mark II, or what I kind of like to call the get out of jail free mode.
Yes, mate, transport mode. Or get out of jail free mode. Get out of jail free, do not pass a colour room, do not collect 500 drink tokens, and other monopoly-isms. Basically what transport mode allows you to do is control both your decks on both channels just using the pads with kind of all the essential kind of DJing 101 features. So you're going to have your pitch bend, your pitch adjust, that'll be your pitch fader adjust in Serato on the yellow pads. You're going to have sync on and off, and then pitch and time on and off, and then cue and play on the red and green buttons. So I can pitch bend, and of course move the pitch fader in Serato as well, so you can hear it slowing down, and I can just bring it back up to 0. So worst case scenario, if you're using a DVS system and you've got problems with the needles or the decks in general, if you flip to transport mode, it's going to switch to internal mode, and you can control both decks on Serato without having to stop and do any kind of, tech support basically. So you can kind of quickly mix two tracks together just using the pads. Hey, nice speakers in the background, by the way. It's almost like you planned ahead.
Ah, yes, you must be referring to my M Audio BX8 bad boys. I love them. Luckily, I live in the middle of nowhere because I'm sure that the neighbours would love them as well. But yeah, quality speakers, mate. But yeah, let's get back to the mixer, shall we? Now, finally, I just want to touch on the touch screen on this 72 Mark II. So, Matt, give me a little run through of like the navigation and the touch effects and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, mate, the touchscreen. And 7 out of an available 10 for the pun there. So for our three main views on the 72 Mark II, much like the original 72, we have our Serato waveform view, where we can actually touch the screen to search through the waveform, but also pinch and zoom, and that'll be mirrored in Serato as well. We can also activate sync on and off, and also our key shift at the top as well. Now if I tap view, that's going to send me into library mode, so I can browse through all of my Serato crates, and if I'm using any streaming services in Serato, for example here you can see I've got Tidal, I can go through all of my Tidal playlists. So let's go to, let's say my engine playlist here, and if I want to I can scroll down and then increase the information I see, so now we can see key and BPM. If I swipe again and close it, you'll see the more condensed view. All buttons are touch capacitive on the 72 Mark II. And with the third view, we have effects. So we talked about this earlier in terms of our routing. So that's how we get to our effects, just from the top panel there. Now, if I hold down view, you're going to go straight to your main menu. So here's where we can tweak and change things and really customize the mixer. So we can swipe through and change things like our headphone setup, our pad parameter setup, and our filter setup. So let's go to filter setup, and we can change the roll point of each filter. So I can change my hertz settings on the high pass and on the low pass as well. And any screen, you'll have a back button to get back to your main menu. And if I can tap cut and adjust here, you can see we can change the cut and adjust of the up faders and the crossfader. So let's move this here and then set this to 1 on the left position, tap it again, move it across, and let's set this to 1 on the right position. And again, use the back button to page back to the main menu. Other things that can be adjusted in here, we've got our display, so screen brightness, scroll touch, so we can actually turn off the touch capacitive option earlier. We've got pad mode display on and off. I've currently got this set to on. So if I hit any of the pad modes now, let's hit roll, we are going to get a heads up display of all the pad values and the name of that pad function as well. Now if I touch the name of the pad, that GUI will stay on the screen. That's a nice little touch there. You get that, Ratzi? Touch. If you want to edit the flex effects, which is the hardware effects in the mixer, you simply tap flex effects. You can hit the tool icon and then change any of the parameters of that effect. Again, hit the back button. Or we can change what order we see the effects in terms of the main effects window. So let's say if I don't use the reverb or the filter much, I can take it out. Another cool thing about the flex effects menu is if I tap right at the top here, I am able to change what type of values I see in all the rhythmic based effects. So I can have, for example, if I scroll across, no triplets. So if I'm on my echo, it's going to give me halves and quarters. I can have no dotted, simple. So we're going to get only simple values, sort of like quarter, 8, 16, extended, which gives us all of those options. And then back to no triplet. So yeah, there's a lot of customization here, but it ultimately revolves around these kind of 3 main menus here. So our waveform view here, our library view, and our effects view. And of course, to change any of the mixer parameters, you hold down view, and we're in our main menu.
Banging. Perfect, mate. Thank you. And I just want to say as well, I am a huge fan of this screen, and particularly just having the waveforms and not having to have your head stuck in your laptop. I think that's really important for battle DJs as well. So, mate, let's leave it there. Thank you very much, Matt. Just before we go, I want you to try and say, as fast as you can, Ratzi and Ray revisit RANE.
Ratzi and Ray revisit RANE.
Not bad, mate. Not bad. Right. So, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for tuning in to the first ever Ratzi revisits. The RANE 72 Mark II is such a bad boy. It's just a beast, basically. So if you want to know sort of the more deeper ins and outs of it, I will put a link in the description of this video of our deep dive that we did on the 72 Mark II with Matt and my boy Jimmy Needles. So yeah, big ups to Matt Reay again, all the way from the Matt Cave over there. For Ratzi from the Ratcave signing off. If this video has been helpful, please don't forget to like it and also subscribe to the DJKit YouTube channel for plenty more videos just like this one. Until next time, guys, peace.